Yeah, this one's called Soul Cipher. I've done it a few times. It's about when I left university first time, I was unemployed. And this is about that time in London. I was unemployed, I was looking for work. So this poem's all about that experience. It's called Soul Cipher. This is a soul cipher for the ones lost in the ether, unpaid overtime at weekends. This is for diehards only. Strong will, resilient mind, tougher memory. You will not see your reflection in a TV mirror. More melanin, please. We're British. You will not hear your philosophy on the radio. You will not see your ilk in management positions. Your work mentors will be a different shade to you mentally, philosophically, politically, melaninically. Yes, that is a real word. Are you swamped by the melancholy? Anyone can lay their hands on an 808 subwoofer kick or a low-end sine wave these days. Bass vibrations blow the shit away. This is a soul cipher for diehards only. The weak-willed, the infirm, the ill-informed need not apply. The spiritually bereft will not make it past the first round. Jump when they say jump. How high? No pirouettes, electric slides, freestyles, blocking, locking, popping, no sticky okra for lunch. No yams, no Creole. This is a soul cipher for those who remembered to carry their spirits. Funk Godfather James Brown shouts, take it to the bridge. London Bridge, change. Get on the red bus to another interview. You have experience, yes, no. What are your ethics? How far are you prepared to stretch without breaking? To put your foot on a ladder without knowing who or what it's connected to? Who creates, distributes, monetizes these sky ladders anyway? Which cloud is your dream floating on? Cloud 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ether is one of the first anesthetics, flammable at low temperatures. Ask why you feel a heat burning inside. This is a soul cipher. This is for diehards only. There is always a PA softly spoken, whispering, sorry, some doors aren't meant for everybody. Thank you. Right, this one is called My Adidas. So a few years ago, I took my cousin to Ghana. She works really hard. She needed a holiday, so I said, right, okay, I'm going to Ghana. I'm going to write a poetry collection. You can be my glamorous assistant. So we went to Ghana for a couple of weeks, and she fitted in seamlessly. You know, after about 15 minutes, she was moving as fast as the locals. Whilst me, on the other hand, I was just like, it's hard. I was like 5 yards behind, getting slower and slower and slower. Well, whilst I was there, we bumped into one of her friends that she grew up with, who was someone to be living there, and he told us this story. So I've put it into a poetic form, and it's true. It's 100% true. When I was younger, we had so much: big house and a personal driver. In every shop I went to, all I had to do was sign a piece of paper, money direct from my father's account. It didn't affect me. I didn't feel the loss, the reduction in the inheritance. Then one day, my dad said, I wasn't a boy anymore, I was a man. Gave me a roof over my head, but that was it. I remember he was away one weekend. There was no food in the cupboard. I had to go out and find it. The shops wouldn't give me any credit. Me and my friend went into the bushes. We bludgeoned a monkey. I think we deep fried it. I missed the personal jets to anywhere, just for a laugh on a weekend, just because my dad fancied a pint in Berlin or a cocktail in Monaco. Ask me what makes a man. Is it how far he's willing to go for a good time or a bite to eat? Ask me about money, costs and values. I'll tell you, my Adidas footwear is my personal driver. And this one is one I was telling you about earlier, about my daughter, 5 years of anger in 500 words. My mum hated school. She only learnt 4 words. Same shit, different day. I don't like school. The board is too far, too close. Classroom too noisy. The words dance. They don't give me handouts. I hate writing, jumping, moving. I like art, pictures, drawing, dreaming. No drama, no www words. Why force me to go, spend all day in that hellhole? It is torture. I hate verses, jokes, computers, surprises, bad news. The art teacher has had a breakdown and left. Do you think I'm lazy, crazy, indolent, unwise, idle, foolish, lethargic, silly, sluggish, senseless, slothful, irrational, stupid, confused by the complex phonetics, the rhythm of the system, the spelling compelling the sentence to boogaloo shoo up to woo woo, the syllables ridicule? Dyslexia is no laughing matter. My head hurts. How do you spell anxiety? If I turn down my anger, will I get treatment faster? Bypass the 2-year waiting list. How do you spell demure? I need to find what color font size works. Black background, white text. How do you spell metaphor? I must manage, move forward, cope. I do lists, catalogs, sequences, directories, inventories. I must devise my own class. How do you spell autonomous? I hack into an online account. I buy a library of books. How do you spell surprise? Macbeth, a tale of murder, intrigue, devious plots to keep people down and others ascend. Have you heard of Shakespeare? The final test was a killer. Quiet room to decrease tension? No. Main hall, obnoxious, bellicose, brain freeze. Exam results: failure, catastrophe, fiasco, disaster, miscarriage of justice. All the words mean the same thing. I thought I was winning. It was all a waste of time. I want this poxy world to stop. Cease. I worked so hard to fall so far. I was a person who dreamed big black words on a white background. My system destroyed by theirs. My mum hates my school, bangs on walls, takes days off, knows 4 new words. Remark? How much? That's 3 words, 4 syllables, mum. Overworked, under pressure. The examiners say they made an error. Most effusive in their apologies. Teachers are human, get tired. I am amazed, stunned, shocked by their tone of speech. Even though I am now top of the class, Mum says we cannot afford the cost of their mistakes. What job uses the most effective words? Lawyer. That's what I'm going to do. Then I can ask why, anytime I like. I've got to go now. I'm off to teach my mum how to say same shit, different day in Latin. Oedem die diverse stracore. The last word is pronounced with an A at the end. Right, one more. One more. I don't know, maybe more. I always end on this one called rant. And basically, a friend of mine was going through a tough time. So I just went at him for about 45 minutes. And then I compressed everything I said to him into this 3-minute poem, so that anytime he felt a bit depressed, he could read it. And I think it's my most popular poem. People seem to like it. It's called Rant. Right? I don't get tired. I breathe through my eyes. Can a hairdresser give themselves a haircut? They can cut the fringe, but they can't do the back. You need to trim yours now. Get the hair out of your eyes. You can't see how great you are because you're running in your own lane. Look how far you've come. Other people ain't got that. Other people can't do that. It's like on a starting line and you've got a race to 100. You're passing people who started from 0. You're passing people starting from 1. People who've had every advantage. People who were running before the gun went off. And you were starting from -50. In real terms, you're passing Usain Bolt. You are world class. You're A. You're A star. You're A star star. You don't believe me or your mates about how good you are because we're your mates. It's only when somebody who ain't us tells you the same thing that you believe. When you see them a few times, you don't believe them either. Easy way. Write it down. Take your name off. Call yourself Mr. A. Then mail it to somebody you don't know. Who knows about these things? Say you're asking for a friend. Write down all that you've done. How far you've come from your starting block. We're talking A. We're talking A star. We're talking A star star. You're lapping people. You're lapping people for real. So we don't do no pity party. That's not our style. Got to get out of bed. You hear me? You're magnificent. When you wake up, the first thing you've got to tell yourself is, I'm fantastic. No ifs, no buts. If people don't like it, they can get lost. I can't hear you. You need to say, I am fantastic. No ifs, no buts. 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 If people don't like it, they can get lost. You think I talk too much? I must be knackered. This isn't work. How can telling the truth be work? And I did that at Durham Cathedral. It went out really well.
Thank you, that was fantastic. And I think that's something that really kind of pulses through the collection that, you know, that we've read, Wide Awake in Dreamland. Is that kind of real sort of motivational positivity that it's got, that is there in that poem too, despite all the that's in there as well. But something, so I'm interested in the use of humour in your work, but something I can't quite get over is the Spider-Man poem, because there's this guy sitting there chilling, but the chilling is, I don't mean to pun, but it is chilling. It's really, really chilling because it's so disabling, that hostile environment that, okay, that's in France, but that is being lived through.
Yeah.
And it made me think also, I don't know if you've read By the Sea by Abdulrazak Gurnah, but there's a guy there he's claiming asylum, and he's sitting there and he's pretending that he doesn't speak English because he wants the easier way. But then that's paralyzing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a use of humor there, but sometimes it's conveying a situation that is chilling, and I don't know what I'm asking about that.
Well, I use humor because, you know, if you know, I did, you know, when I was doing my teaching and you know, do research into like what effective teaching techniques, and then if people find something funny, they'll remember it, you know, 10 times more than if, you know, you're really harsh on them. You know, and then if you there's something like 20 times more. If somebody's learning something and they're having fun doing it, you know, it's 20 times more effective than if you go like, you must learn this, you must learn this. You know, and it takes 10 positives comments to counteract one negative one. So, you know, there's been studies done on this. So, you know, so with that information, okay, I have to, you know, if you go like, it's rubbish, that's hard, that's horrible, that's horrible, that's horrible. It's like, you know, people become desensitized to it. So you have to find other ways to make a point, to get the message across and get it to stick in people's heads.
As well, so many poems were about our 2 young kids, and I think it's something quite parental about humour as well. So I know if I'm talking to my daughter about something difficult, I try and make her laugh a little bit as well. So if it's the more serious it is, the more I'll try and just make her laugh a little bit. And that's interesting. Sorry to interrupt.
I was interested too, though. You've been commissioned by the BBC to do what, and were there certain, I don't know, I'm coming from an academic with an academic hat on, that I've just been editing articles that were not commissioned by me. I've been doing more sort of routine editing, but it's a special issue for a journal of articles on diversity in the literary marketplace. They've interviewed agents and publishers around, commissioning of work that is diverse in various ways, and what constraints that puts on writers, and so on. So who are the gatekeepers? What are the requirements? How do you get in? So when you've done work for the BBC, have you been have you felt free to do what you want? Has there been certain constraints?
The brief was quite specific. That was the BBC thing was a poem about the COVID experience,
right,
of the region.
Mm.
So people had suffered, people had lost loved ones, people who had worked in hospitals, and brief was it had to be within. I think there was a time limit on it as well. Length of time when spoken.
Yeah.
Memory serves me correctly. So yeah, so that was, yeah, the hard bit. The hard bit was getting the beats to hit, and getting the it's tough, those kind of things, because you go like, okay, you've got some really important things to say, you've got some really great material, and they go like, right, you've got to make a decision, like, well, they've said it's got to be that. If it's not that, it's not happening. So but I suppose that's the same with everything. Some stuff ends up on the cutting room floor. So yeah, that was that one. Yeah. And then I was on the ITV Time Tees talking about education and Black Lives Matter, and I think they read one of my books. And I think they thought I was, but I stopped doing actually the TV stuff, because it's a lot of work for no money. It was like, oh, call you up. It's like, oh, because I remember I prepared for about a week for the first time I was up doing the Time Tees thing. I appropriately said, and I went down and they recorded me for about maybe an hour and a half. And then they used 5 minutes. And I was like, that's a lot of work for, oh yeah, so people got to see me on the TV, but so? And then they phone me up again. It's like, what's your opinion on this? Then you get on again, and then you just go like, this is a lot of work for. I'm just making their job easy for them. And it's like, what's is it? And it didn't seem to be moving the conversation any further forward. So, been a bit busy now.